Does your baby live in a virtual bubble? How careful are you about germs? I'm going to say this out loud. Stop worrying about germs. Do you remember when you were little and you would go out to play and you would drop something on the ground? You'd just brush it off on your jeans, a lollipop or something, and stick it back in your mouth. Do you remember sharing ice cream cones with everybody in the circle or everyone who didn't have one? Or just sharing flavors? We're really in a world now where we're insulating our children, our babies, and we're putting them into a bubble, an antibacterial bubble. I realize there are places where you have to disinfect. If I said to you, quick, do you have a sanitizer, hand sanitizer in your purse, Mom? Grandmom? The answer would be yes. Should you use it every 2 seconds? No. When you're out shopping, yeah, that's a good idea. If you're in Walmart or some Sam's Club or someplace to, sanitize, of course, and put the baby into a little bit of a bubble, those nice little thingy-doos that they have that you can stick the baby in and he won't be contaminated with germs. But on the whole, at the home front, I think we're overdoing it with the germ thing. On the home front, we need to build a house that is warm and comfortable and not so sanitary that your child will not be able to build up his own defense system against germs. True story, my daughter, when she was little, always went to the daycare. That's the way we did things. I worked. She went to the daycare, and she loved to suck her thumb. That was her thing until she hit kindergarten. And we had a long talk about thumb sucking and people watching. That's another story. But she would come back, and she would be playing in the muck at the preschool and the nursery. She would come back, and she would have her 10 fingers, her whole hands, both hands, would be dirty, except for her 2 thumbs. They were licking clean. You couldn't get them any cleaner. So my daughter was a dirt licker. Maybe you have a dirt licker. Someone who just sucks their thumb and then goes about their business and plays when it gets dirty again or when they feel like putting their thumb in their mouth. If you have a thumb sucker, then they're going to do it. Kids will be kids. So when you sanitize and you're always using the antibacterial soap, the antibacterial everything for the child, you really are creating a virtual bubble within your own home. Have you thought about using vinegar? It disinfects everything. And I know I use that. My daughters-in-law use that. Vinegar. You can clean countertops with vinegar. You can disinfect just about anything with vinegar, and then with what you have left, you can put it on your salad. You can wash windows with it. So you want to disinfect with vinegar. You want to, if you're someplace and something happens to fall on the ground, I mean, I've done this. Do you remember this 10-second rule when you were younger? Well, something would fall on the ground, a pacifier. It was the only one that you had. And you then felt, if you put it in your mouth and you cleaned it off with your own germs, at least they were your germs, forgetting, of course, that someone else had germs on the floor, and then you put it into your baby's mouth. And if someone were to see you, you just holler out, it's the 10-second rule. And everyone would nod their head, yep, I know about the 10-second rule. So people in our culture have gotten so germophobic that they're afraid to let their children play. They're afraid everything is full of germs. Everything is wiped down and antibacterialized to death. So give yourself a break. Enjoy a cup of coffee. Let your child go out to the playground, play in the muck, stomp. If something falls to the ground and it just doesn't look too bad, wipe it off, give it back to them. Now, I'm not advocating that something harmful happen. I'm just saying that this is a germophobic world. And I think if mothers could and grandparents could relax a little bit more and realize that germs have been on this earth longer, gazillion years, longer than man has been on this earth. So you can fight some of the germs, but some of them are healthy germs, and you build up antibodies and you build up a healthy immune system. So I guess pick and choose where you can sanitize, what you need to sanitize, and then sit back and let nature take its course. Come on back and we'll talk about more important grandparenting stuff.